Angela Merkel has marked 70 years since the liberation of the Dachau concentration camp. She's the first German Chancellor to give a speech at the commemoration. Dachau was the prototype for Nazi Germany's network of death camps. CCTV's Nathan King tells us more.
It was almost an unimaginable scene of human suffering when US troops liberated Germany's first Nazi concentration camp in Dachau. More than 200,000 people were held and over 40,000 prisoners died. The camp had a horrible history dating back to 1933. The Nazi government conducted brutal medical experiments on prisoners and worked them to death. Dachau became a model for the extermination camps that killed millions of Jews and other minorities. But 70 years later, rather than trying to forget this ugly chapter of German history, Germany's leaders are confronting it head-on.
Im Gedenkjahr 2015
In this year of remembrance, 2015, these former concentration and extermination camps have been firmly brought back into public focus in recent weeks. 70 years ago, one after the other was liberated. Everywhere, there was a picture of unfathomable horror. They all admonish us not to forget. No, we will never forget. We'll not forget for the sake of the victims, for our own sakes, and for the sakes of future generations.
Survivors from Dachau, still alive 7 decades later, attended the ceremony and paid tribute to the German attitude, remembering and learning the lessons of Dachau. As Germany faces its wartime record, it's seen as a contrast to that of Japan. In the US last week, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was pressed to apologize for Tokyo's wartime atrocities in the Pacific. He offered remorse but no apology, especially to his Asian neighbors. Here in the heart of Washington, D.C. stands a memorial to the Second World War. On this side, a commemoration of the war in Europe, whose history has largely been confronted and settled. But on this side, commemoration of the war in the Pacific. Still many painful memories for millions of Americans and Asians alike. And as we commemorate the end of the world's most costly war 70 years ago this year, there'll be plenty more time to remember and reflect. Nathan King, CCTV, Washington.